everyone. Today I wanted to talk to you about attracting wildlife to your garden. I've already done a video about attracting flying insects to your garden and we made a lovely bug hotel in that. But today I wanted to talk to you about what goes underneath the soil that's good for your garden. And I've got here a few rather lovely wiggly worms from my compost bin. Now, we don't think about worms very much because they're under the soil, but they are incredibly important for your garden because they improve your soil quality. And the better your soil is, the more plants you can grow for your flying insects and your birds. So here we go. Here's a lovely wiggly worm here. And I just wanted to tell you a few little things about them. So these little guys live in the soil and every day they eat soil and they recycle it. So here he's looking at you. He's face to camera. He's very good at this. So they recycle the soil. And while they're doing that, they make little channels in the soil to help with water movement and to help break the soil up so that roots can go deep down to get nutrients. So they're really, really good at recycling and improving the quality of the soil in your garden. They breathe through their skin. So they need it to be damp, so I'm not going to keep him out too long because he'll dry out. So if you see a little worm on the path, put him back onto the ground, onto the soil, into the grass, so that he can burrow down, because that's how they breathe. Okay, if they dry out, you've pretty much had it, and that's not good, is it? A myth about worms, if you cut them in half, you'll get two. That's not true, so don't cut them in half. They have a fully functioning nervous system that runs all throughout their body, and if you cut that in half, you'll kill it, okay? So we have to be good to our little worm friends because they are so incredibly useful for our garden, and not only for our soil quality, but they are actually a food source for birds. So if you find yourself digging over your garden in the spring and the summer, maybe after a nice wet day, you might get some worms come to the top of the soil, and you might find that you get a couple of little birdie friends to sit with you while you're digging your garden over, which is lovely to have a little bit of company while you're doing that. So worms and compost. This is my slightly enormous compost bin. It's a lot bigger than I need it to be. Didn't realise that when I bought it. And I just wanted to show you a few things that you can put in here. So, I'm now going to tell you some things that can go in your compost and things that can't go in your compost. So a definite no-no for your compost bin is any meat, any dairy products like yogurt and cheese, no, and milk, no fish, no bones of any kind, no oils or fats, okay? We don't want to put any diseased plants in our compost because although the compost bin does get quite warm to help as part of the decomposition process, it doesn't get hot enough to kill any diseases off, and we don't want to put any diseases into the soil and then spread them all around our garden, okay? We don't want to put any weeds in there. I know that might sound quite silly, but weeds are very, very good at propagating themselves. So if you put nettle roots or any weed seeds in there, it's quite likely that when you spread your compost over your garden in a few months, they'll start to grow again, okay? So weeds in the green bin, let somebody else deal with that. For your compost, no weeds. No glossy paper from magazines because it's got like a waterproof coating on it and it doesn't break down properly, and it's also covered in lots of chemicals. Which leads me on to no chemicals. So if you just had your grass treated with like weed killer or something, try not to put that in your compost because it can be really, really bad for it. And lastly, and surprisingly, no poop. Don't put any animal poo in your compost. No dog poo, no cat poo. You can maybe get away with some hamster poo. If your animal is a vegetarian, a little bit of that is okay, but if your animal eats even the tiniest bit of meat, do not put that in your compost because that will be very bad for it, okay? Things that can go in your compost, the good things, divided into two groups. So we've got the brown list and we've got the green list. And we're looking for roughly 2/3 brown, 1/3 green to give it a good mix and a good balance. So the brown stuff, egg boxes, toilet rolls or kitchen rolls, shredded paper. The green list, we've got grass cuttings, eggshells, tea bags with no plastic in them, coffee grounds, vegetable scraps like potato peelings, peppers, cucumber. Try not to put any citrus or onion skins in your compost because these take ages and ages to decompose and they are a little bit acidic, okay? Banana skins are epic, loads and loads of potassium, but do take the stickers off first, okay? So there's the things that you can put in your compost. And now we're going to have a quick look in my compost bin. I really hope you haven't just had your breakfast. It's a bit gross. So in here, can you see we've got egg boxes, toilet rolls, some cuttings from some plants that aren't weeds, banana skins, these are all my vegetable scraps. And if I have a little sift around, here we go, look through the grass cuttings. Oh, we can see some lovely worms. Very, very busy decomposing my compost bin, okay? We've also got some eggshells in there as well. You probably need to break those down. If you find that you have got too many eggshells in your compost, they are really good to just break up and scatter all over the soil as like a snail and slug repellent. Because think about it, if you're sliding around with no socks on, like snails do on their feet, you're not going to want to slide over something sharp, are you? So it kind of puts them off a little bit, and as the eggshells decompose, they're really, really good for the soil again. This is my little vegetable patch in my garden. You can just see here a row of radishes that have started to sprout, and I've got some broad beans over there and a random bluebell. And I put some compost on here from my compost bin about 3 weeks ago, and it seems to have done the trick. If you wanted to make your own compost bin for your garden, it doesn't have to be a big one like I've got. I think you can get them from the council at a discounted rate. Very bog standard, it's fit for purpose compost bins. If you haven't got space for one of those, or you can't afford one, you can make your own. So here I've got a bucket. I'm pretty sure this had sweets in for Halloween. So you just need to make a hole in the bottom so that the worms can get in and the moisture can get out, and put a lid on it. And then you can just pile little bits of kitchen scraps and toilet rolls and old matches and eggshells and banana skins, grass cuttings, dead leaves, homework that you possibly weren't too chuffed with, into there. Give it a mix once a week or something, and that will work. Equally, you could use a bog standard builder's bucket. Again, make a hole in the bottom so that the worms can get in and the liquid can get out, and make a lid to go on it. Or if you wanted to go a little bit bigger and you've got a massive spare flower pot somewhere, you could use that. It's already got some holes in the bottom. I'd probably make those a little bit bigger. And you can just layer up all of your bits of compost, give it a mix once a week, make sure it's got a nice secure lid, because you don't want any foxes getting in there and pooping inadvertently, do you? And just be careful, just in case you get a hedgehog into your compost, that you don't hurt it, okay? So there's lots of ideas here. You could also use one of those big square boxes that you can use for storage. It's got a nice tight fitting lid. If you make some holes in the bottom, you can put that somewhere for a little compost bin and put your kitchen scraps in there, okay? So there's lots of different ways that you can recycle things from your house and from your kitchen to use in your garden to help you grow lovely fruits and vegetables or beautiful flowers to attract wildlife to your garden. Enjoy looking at the worms. I know they are a bit slimy, but they are absolutely fascinating, and they are so, so good for your soil, and also a food source for birds. So if you've got worms in your soil, after a lovely day like this, they might come to the surface and you might see some extra special birds coming for a munch. Okay, so you enjoy your compost adventure, and I'll see you soon.